Hi, everyone. Good morning. Can we all hear me? That's for other people in the that are joining virtually. Good morning, everyone. How well? Are we good? Have you eaten today? No, you're not. Okay. I, I cannot help you with that. I'm sorry. But welcome everyone. Um, so just quickly before we go into it, we're having this is a LinkedIn optimization workshop. So what that means is we're trying to see how we can get as many people to work on their LinkedIn. Why do you need LinkedIn? Why is that important? Especially for like tech people, people who are looking for jobs. How do you position yourself to sort of like get as much opportunities as you can from LinkedIn? And then the speaker today is Yemisi Isidi. She's a business strategist. She's an impact investment advisor, and she's also the founder of Idea to Funded. She's passionate about building inclusive and sustainable ecosystems for African businesses. She also leads Thrift Africa, driving financial inclusion, investor readiness, and digital literacy for micro and small enterprises. She's also the founder of Ideas Funded, like I mentioned before, an account or accounts. Please, correct me if I'm pronouncing it the wrong way. She
Oh,
helps start. Okay, account or accounts. Which one is? Which one is? Which one is the
are you
one? Which
asking
one is?
me? It's Akant, AKANC, but it's fine. Yeah, you're supposed to pronounce it as account, so it's fine.
Okay. So at Account, she helps startups to scale efficiently and access funding. She is also a World Economic Forum Global Shaper and a One Young World Ambassador. And so she's bringing her wealth of experience to this workshop today. So please ask as many questions as you can and let's make the best use of her time. Okay, so Yemisi, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you confirm the screen that you're seeing?
We can see a building a personal brand that opens doors screen.
Okay, great. Thank you so much again, everyone, for joining. We have quite a number of people physically and on site. Let me just start off by saying that the work that's a very big thank you to Nana for inviting me here. She was so excited when I said yes. But if I start to talk about the things that Nana has done for me, we can be here all day. And she's like someone that I owe a lot to, and I'm so thankful. And I'm also very thankful for Collab. I don't think that in this my lifetime, Collab can ever ask me to do something and I will say no. No matter what it is, as long as it's not illegal, or no matter how much of an inconvenience it might be, because Collab shaped a lot of my career and a lot of what I'm doing right now. The foundation for me was set at Collab, and just being a part of the amazing things that Mr. Sanusi and his gang are doing, or were doing, and are still doing right now. So I am very thankful, even for the opportunity to give back, because for me this is paying it forward. So thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of the amazing work that you're doing. I do not take the privilege for granted at all. Okay, we have a couple of people joining us online, and I can see quite a number of people physically as well. I would have asked us to introduce ourselves, but we've eaten into like 12 minutes of the time. So perhaps those online, while we are talking, you can just introduce yourself quickly. So if you just give me 1 second, I just remembered I was supposed to reschedule a meeting. I did not do that. Just give me 1 second and I'll be back.
No worries. Take your time. But in the meantime, if anyone, I mean, we can still see your screenshot. Just can see
Oh
your WhatsApp.
God. I need to remember to stop sharing. Um,
Yeah. Does anybody want to like go introduce? I see Gift, who is also working with Collab remotely. Gift, you want to like introduce yourself to everyone?
You just put me on the spot. I was hoping I would just come in hide my face. But hi everyone. My name is Gifts. Um, yeah, my name is Gifts. I currently work with the collab team, really just on a consulting level, supporting on programs that the Gates Foundation is funding. And just like Yemisi, collab is doing an incredible work, just as you said, and I'm proud to be working with a team of people who are supporting young women, young people generally to connecting them with employment opportunities and kickstarting ventures that would uplift the society. So it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to learning. And yeah,
Thank you so much. Gift. Does anybody else want to go? Or better, so let me put it. What are we sort of like hoping to get from this? Are there like specific things that you're looking out for, or I mean, like, please feel free, even if you're online or physical. Is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to, or you want Yemisi to talk about?
Okay, Nana, I'm
Anyone?
back.
Okay.
Okay, hi
Um,
again, everyone. Thank you, and hi, Gibbs, and everyone who has joined physically and virtually. So, because of time, we're going to get right into it. I want this to be as practical and as practical as possible. I don't want you to leave here knowing what to do, but not knowing how to do it. I want you to leave here knowing what to do, how to do it, and even seeing me do it. So, at some point, I'm going to move over to my LinkedIn page and just walk you through the page, how to build your LinkedIn page step by step. So the purpose of this training is on personal branding, but specifically on how to use LinkedIn. So that's what our conversation is about. So yeah, we've done the introduction. So if you're joining us online, you can introduce yourself in the comment section. Just let us know where you're joining us from, your name, and what you hope to gain from this class. You never know who is on this call with you, and how perhaps you might be able to work together after this training. So my name is Yemisi. Nana already did a fantastic job with the introduction. Currently, my work revolves around supporting nano and micro businesses as well as early stage startups launch their idea, early stage startup founders launch their idea and get the funding that they need to grow. So I do that through Thrift Africa, which is a microfinance institution. Idea to Funded, which we are building to become an impact fund, but currently provides advisory to early stage founders, and we also work across various programs. We're currently working across 10 programs supporting early stage founders across Africa. So my work on this program is designing the program, supporting with mentorship or programs, just really ensuring that the capacity building that is being provided through this accelerator and incubator programs meets the need of the founders that get to join this program, and even ensuring that the right people join this program. What else do I do? So I do a couple of impact advisory as well with development agencies and NGOs globally. All of it revolves around entrepreneurship and ensuring access to jobs. Nana mentioned accounts BPO. So 3 months ago, I launched accounts with Dami. I think she's on this call. I saw her earlier. And the goal for us is to create jobs for, her name is Florence on this call. Sorry, I always call her Dami and I forget that that's not what people know her for. I don't know if she's still here, but I know I saw her earlier. But yeah, pretty much the goal. Yeah, she's on the call. Hi, Dami. I always put her on the spot, and I'm sure she hates it so much. But yes, the goal for us is to create jobs for young people and women by providing financial management services to businesses and early stage startups. So beyond just bookkeeping, the goal for us is that businesses are able to make the right decisions and are able to make data-driven decisions and are also able to get the funding that they need to grow. So our clients cut across various industries, and we provide a wide range of service, whether it's just basic data entry, audits, tax, payroll, and we are always hiring because we have a lot of demand. So if you're an accountant and you want to work with us, please feel free to reach out after this call. Right. So that's me. I don't know why. Okay. These are a couple of organizations that I've worked for or currently work for. I also do some work with government agencies, mainly doing staff training, workforce development, and so on. Okay, so I like engagements. I know some of us are joining physically. It would have been lovely to meet you, but I'm very sure that one of these days I'll be in Kaduna and I'll get to see you physically. But yes, if you're joining us online, please engage. You can share the link to join this on your WhatsApp status, stories, on social media. Get more people to join, and also share what you're learning on social media as well. This is a bit of what we're going to cover today. So Nana said I have till 11:30, but I know that we're very busy people, so I'm really going to try and not spend too much time, but still make it as valuable as possible. Okay, so I want to share a quick story about personal branding and social media. And I know that perhaps if you've listened to me speak before, you're very familiar with this story. But in 2017, October, wow, how's today's date? 17. Yeah, like exactly 8 years ago, I moved back to Nigeria and I was very anxious and uncertain. I didn't have any plan, any specific laid out plan on what I was coming to do. But I moved back to Nigeria, and when I moved back, I put up a post on social media saying that, oh, I had moved back and I was looking for opportunities. And in less than 2 weeks, I got 8 job offers, and they were mostly from they were all from people that I did not know, but I had connected with on Facebook. So I tried to backtrack to understand. I'm a big believer in systems and structures, and I think that certain things happen if you have the right systems and structure. It's leads to certain results. And so I decided to look to see what had led to those offers so that you can also replicate the process. If you don't know what's leading to something, it can be very hard to replicate the process or even teach others what you may have done that has created that situation. And I realized that all the time, all the while I was in school, I used social media a lot to share about my experience, what I was learning, what I was doing. I had a lot of volunteering activities. I took internship roles. I was a campus ambassador. I was very involved in clubs on campus, so campus societies and all of that. And so I was always sharing the things that I was doing in this club. And I didn't know that by sharing this, I was curating social media as my CV. So you know how you look at a person's CV and you know their name, you know their experience, you're able to measure their level of skill sets. That's pretty much what I was doing with my social media. So because of how I was sharing content and what I was sharing, people could in a way measure the level of skill or expertise and experience that I had, and perhaps how that could be useful to them in the businesses or enterprise that they were building. So that was what led to the offer. So I'm going to be sharing some of the things that I had done with my social media and how you can do them as well, particularly with LinkedIn. Further to that, I started hosting events during my youth service. A couple of people here, I met them through that event, so the Ilorin Digital Summit. So the goal of the event was to promote digital skills, acquisition of digital skills, to enable people get decent jobs and also build businesses that were online. And I realized that every time I reached out to a founder to sponsor the event, they were very open to do so. So I reached out to a couple of founders on Twitter, and at least 90% of them responded. So if anybody remembers, the first and the second episode of Ilorin Digital Summit was sponsored by Cowrie Wise. They sent us loads of merch. I still have a laptop that has the sticker on it. They sent speakers down. They were so happy to engage in the event. That happened from me reaching out to the founder on LinkedIn, and so many other people as well who were happy to sponsor or donate to that event, connected to not LinkedIn, actually Twitter, on Twitter. And it was the same thing with how I had curated my online presence that led to trust, right? And that promoted that level of engagement or people wanting to invest in you. And then those are like a few stories on how social media has helped me. You could see the number of organizations that I had worked with, both within Nigeria, across Africa, and globally. And at least 60% of them were people who connected with me on social media or who found me on social media and just thought, oh, we have this that is going on. We want to work with you on it. And it was just based off how I had curated my online presence. So, how to build a personal brand and curate your online presence with LinkedIn is what we are going to be discussing today. And I hope that with my story so far, you're excited and you're looking forward to it. So, what is a personal brand? If someone should ask you, what is a personal brand? What will you say? So, is there anybody in our on-site audience, from our on-site audience, that wants to answer?
Anyone? What do you think a personal brand is? Is that? Okay, someone
Then you
said
have
it's
to interpret because I can't hear.
okay. Someone said it's a brand about yourself.
Fair. I mean, that's a very smart answer. It's a brand about yourself. Okay, maybe we should backtrack a bit. What is a brand? What is a brand?
Any takers? Branding experts. What is a brand?
Yeah, so we have branding experts in the room. Please, if somebody say, "Oh, I want to build a brand," what are they saying? Is it the logo? Is it the color that they use on their social media carousel? What are they saying?
Yeah. Anyone?
How you choose to present yourself.
Okay, how you choose to represent yourself. Okay. Someone said how.
Yes. Fantastic response. I like that. So I like to think of a personal brand as what people know about you and what they say about you based off your work, right? So I had a client one time that, not even one time, this was like last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. She needed help with something and her budget was below what I'll typically collect for that. So I told her that, oh, I can recommend someone because taking this on right now for this fee would not be very good value for me and for my team. But I can recommend someone. And she was like, no, she doesn't want to work with anyone else. She doesn't mind going to get a loan for me to do it for her because she trusts that I would go over and beyond, right? And that is a personal brand. What people know about you and what they say about you, even when you are not in the room. So, because of her experience with me, her perception of my brand is that I am somebody who would go over and beyond what is required and ensure that even beyond the price that was paid, they are going to get a good value. So, I want to ask you, what is your personal brand? What do people know about you? And what do people say about you when you are not in the room? So that's something to consider and to write down, right? There may be what do people know about you now and what people say about you now versus what you want people to know about you and what you want people to say about you. So I think 2, 3 years ago, because I was very involved in business and digital skills, that's mainly what people knew me for. And I just had the sense to position for finance, to be known as a finance professional. So there was what people knew about me and what people said about me, and there was what I wanted people to know about me and what I wanted people to say about me. So even if I could do digital marketing and pretty much anything about business, I'm a management consultant, so that means you need to know a little bit of everything about business development and business management. It was still important for me to for me at that point, I wanted to be known for finance. So when anybody says personal finance or business finance or getting funding, I wanted my name to be top of mind. And so I started intentionally curating my personal brand to be known and seen as a finance professional. Now I'm just checking to confirm that you're recording.
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. So there is your personal brand. So I want you to reflect in like 1 minute. Write down what do people know about you? What do people say about you, right? And then also ask yourself, What do I want to be known as or known for? What do I want people to say about my brand? So you can list out maybe 5 key values that you want people to associate with your brand. So for instance, there are influencers online that people know that they don't do good work, or you can pay them and you would not hear from them. That's a personal brand, right? That is a form of their branding, what people know, what people say about them. Right. And there are some people that people say, she will do the work, oh, but she's very rude. That's also a form of personal brand, what people know and what people say about you. So I want you to just write that down, reflect and write it down. Currently, what do people know about you and what do they say about you? Then, what do you want people to know about you and what do you want them to say about your brand? What skills, what knowledge, what what knowledge, what experiences, what industry do you want to be associated with? Right? So another key task. So if we were meeting physically, I would have asked you to bring out your phone and show your neighbor your social media profile and let them just maybe your Twitter or your LinkedIn or your Instagram. Maybe we should do it for the physical audience. So go to your social media profile that you use often. Are we doing that? So go to your social media page, the social media page or accounts that you use often. Is it Twitter? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Facebook, Instagram, TikTok? Go to the page that you use often. Are we there?
Are we there? Yes, we are.
Okay. So I want you to show your neighbor the account in like 10 seconds. Let your neighbor just scroll through. Hopefully you don't have inappropriate pictures on the page. But let your neighbor just scroll through in 10 seconds and then you take your phone back. So swap your phones and check through in 10 seconds.
Because we talk to a lot. Just like that.
Okay. Now ask your neighbor what their first impression of you is. So what do they think about your page?
Make a check your profile.
You like BMW?
What did they so is what they are saying, does it match up with what you want to be known for or known as?
Something like that. Some people usually use
Something
something
like that. Okay. Is there anybody who what they said is an accurate description of what you want to be known for?
Yes, there are a
Okay.
couple.
Is there anybody who what your neighbor said is not an accurate description of what you want to be known for?
Yeah, there are also a couple of people.
Okay, I want to. Okay, you don't have mics. If I was there physically, I would have wanted to know the neighbor. How did you form that impression, and what does the person want to be known for? But maybe next time when we are around physically. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. So why is it important to have a personal brand? Like I've said, a personal brand is more than your online profile. It is what people know about you, right? What people say about you, even when you're not in the room. And key components of a personal brand is authenticity. It is not about trying to be who you are not, right? It's about staying true to who you are. Expertise. What value do you bring to the table? And this is not dependent on whether you're an expert or not. Even as a beginner, you may not bring a lot of technical skills, but you bring a really good attitude. You're able to contribute to the work culture. You have clear soft skills and a willingness to learn. That speaks to the key expertise that you would need to have at beginner level, right? Great attitude, willingness to learn, the right soft skills. Consistency. So if one day you show up as a graphics designer and tomorrow you show up as an accountant, I know people say yes, you can be multiple things, but it can be very confusing, and it can really impact the opportunities that people recommend you for. What I would rather do is to find the connection between all those things that you're doing and you're interested in, and then form a brand around it. So I had a client once who was trying to build a personal brand online. She does skincare products, and she also worked to promote peacekeeping, right, in communities. And during our session, we're able to arrive at the point that what she pretty much does is holistic care. So both physically and maybe even in your soul, right? Just maintaining order in people's physical appearance and in communities. And that's essentially what her brand was about. And she was very surprised that we were able to come to that conclusion. So if you're somebody like me who has multiple interests, multiple skills, what's the key connection be what connects all those things together, and how can you build a brand around that central theme, or arriving at the one thing? Yes, you can do many things, but what's the one thing that you really want people to know you for right now, right? um So, importance of your personal brand. I've talked about how it attracts opportunity. You're able to build credibility and trust. You differentiate yourself from the crowd. It makes it easy for you to grow your network. You're able to accelerate your career growth because there are people who know you for certain things and are able to speak up for you. So even when someone goes on social media to say, "Oh, I'm looking to hire XYZ person," or "I'm looking for somebody who can do ABC thing," because people that's what people know you for, they recommend you for it, and that can significantly accelerate your career growth. Right? So I've also talked about the key components of your personal branding, which is authenticity, expertise, and consistency. So there is also your personal brand formula. Your personal brand formula. So that includes: who are you? What do you do? What do you want to be known for? What are your key values? What makes you different from other people that do the same thing? So if you're able to answer this question, you can use that to build your personal brand, both online and offline. Who are you? What do you do? What do you want to be known for? What are your key values? What makes you different from other people that do the same thing? So now we're going to look into how to use LinkedIn to build your personal brand, right? So we have LinkedIn. What other social media platform are you on? So there's LinkedIn, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's TikTok, there's even WhatsApp. People don't realize that what you share on your, I always confuse WhatsApp status and story. But even your WhatsApp as well, you can use that to curate an online presence. But today we're going to focus on how to use LinkedIn. How many of us already have a LinkedIn account? So those online, you can raise up your hand. Those on site, if you can just raise up your hand. Okay, none of us are physically present have.
We have practically almost everybody.
Okay, almost everybody. Okay, okay. I couldn't see clearly, and I can also see those online. Most people are raising up their hand. That's amazing. Just scrolling through. Okay, great, great work. Okay. All right. So with LinkedIn, you can showcase your personal professional story. You can build credibility and authority. You can expand your network strategically, and you provide opportunities for engagement. It can also act as your 24/7 professional portfolio. So you may not have the time to update or send somebody your CV, but you can always send them your LinkedIn. And also, a lot of times when you apply for things, I applied for something recently, and somebody who works there was looking at my LinkedIn, right? And I know that they are looking for consistency between what I had said in my application and what is on my LinkedIn. So, based on the things that you want to be known for and the things that you're doing, How are you using your social media to position yourself, or LinkedIn in this case, to position yourself for opportunities that exist on those platforms? So now we're going to go into the step by step of building your LinkedIn profile, or optimizing your LinkedIn profile, seeing as most of us are on LinkedIn. So I'm going to go to my LinkedIn page. And I'm going to walk you through the thought behind the different elements of it, right? So here you have your header. This is real estate, right? That you can use. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So this is real estate that you can use to just capture people's attention and even just share a brief about you as a person and what you do. So I've had this header for years now, and it's even recently that I just realized that the words actually capture what I'm doing right now and the person that I want to be known as, or that I am known as. So finance, growth, impact. And this came from, so a lot of what I'm sharing with you are things that I do. When I want to rebrand myself, I go back and I look at the personal brand formula and I answer those questions. And I have a number of tools and workbooks that I had created that I actually use to review where my personal brand is and plan for what a reinvention will look like. So now I'm preparing to reinvent my personal brand, right? And I've done my research, I've mapped it out. I've, it's not yet reflected on my LinkedIn, right? It's something that is slowly going to be unveiled over a while. But I realized that, okay, I want to be known for this specific industry now based on current trend, right? And based on current opportunities that I want to position myself for globally. So one of the things that I'll do is to look through my personal brand formula, review where I am, who I am, what I want to be known for, what are my key values. So when I was thinking around key values and key words I want associated with my brand, these were the top three things that came to mind. And that's what formed my um, the what I put in the header, right? Also, just ask myself, what are my key, like your key values to also save you from, there are certain opportunities that you just know that are not for you, or there are certain things that you would never do online because it's not aligned with your value, no matter how much it gets people to sign up for whatever it is that you're doing, or it gets you to trend. You know that this is not aligned with my key values, and so I'm not going to do it. So for instance, everybody that works with me knows that if there's anything that, if you want to irritate me, create an offer and overpromise or exaggerate what you are offering, because that's not a value that I want myself or my brand to be associated with. If we're saying that we're doing ABC, let's state ABC, and then when we even give the offer, we are doing A to Z, but we should never ever ever overpromise and even worse under deliver, right? So when you have that value, that maybe it's integrity, that's the word, when you're putting out offers, no matter how tempting it is, a copywriter will say, oh, say it this way. And you look at it and say, no, I can't say it this way because it's against my value. Even if it's one person that will sign up, let them sign up. And I know that, yes, I delivered value to this person, that to exaggerate my offer, a lot of people sign up and then it is very underwhelming, right? So again, what do you want to be known for? What experience do you want people to have when they work with you? What do you want them to say, right? um so this is your header. Your profile picture as well is key. So your profile picture, there are guides on, so you can see this person's header captures what they want to be known for, what you want, what they want you to engage them on. And these are key guides on your profile picture. So you want to make sure that your profile picture is not you and your friends. It's not you looking away from the camera. And it is not you dressed in a way that is not aligned with the industry that you want. So maybe you just came back from the Maldives where you had a fantastic time with your friends, you wore your bikini. That is great, but it is, unless you want to be known as a lingerie model, your profile picture should not be you in a bikini, right? There's nothing wrong with a picture of you in a bikini. It is just not appropriate for the platform and the purpose. However, if you're a lingerie model and that's what you want people to know you for, or people to associate you with, it is completely okay for your LinkedIn profile to be you in a bikini. Do you understand? So there is no one size fits all. It all depends on your what you want people to know you for, right? And it needs to be clear and professional because again, perception. When you come on this page, what is the first thing that you think about? The quality of picture that you put out influences people's perception of you, right? Take a picture with you facing the screen. So we've talked about that as well. So your headline is this here. So where you have impact investment analyst and social entrepreneur. So I think about the thing that immediately stands out to people and that is also associated with my brand. So when you see Wealth Global Shaper stands for World Economic Forum. Because it is a highly esteemed community of young people globally, there are opportunities that just having this in my bio opens me up to that someone else with the exactly same bio may not have. And because I am a part of the Global Shaper community, people expect me to be a certain kind of way, mainly wise, community driven, you know, invested in economic development or the development of their country or of their state and so on. Same for the One Young World Ambassador. It is a very competitive community to be a part of. And for you to be a part of, and there are opportunities that are available only to One Young World Ambassadors. And so that already this already opens me up to opportunities that other people may not have access to. The other part of it, impact investment analysts, social entrepreneurs. I remember getting an opportunity recently and I was wondering why they had reached out to me or offered me the opportunity. And I realized that it was even when I went back to check on my LinkedIn and I saw, but you're the one that put impact investment analyst there. And it made sense, right? So I put words that captures or properly summarizes what I'm doing and also influences the opportunities that I'm looking for. I'm always looking for opportunities that enables me to support entrepreneurs with access to finance and support entrepreneurs with growth opportunities, right? Capacity building and so on. And this for me captures it well. And also because I'm a social entrepreneur, building various impact enterprises and supporting other people to do the same. So I'm also open to work, constantly open to consultancy roles, contract roles, even if currently I'm very overwhelmed with a lot of work. But yes, so this just states you're able to state the opportunities that you are looking for. So I'll just quickly just go through and then we can answer questions, right? So this just states opportunity, the kind of opportunities that I'm looking for. So what are the job titles that people will typically put in the kind of opportunities that I'm looking for, and all of that. So where is if it's on site, which location, if it's remote, where who do I want to see this open to work batch? I only want recruiters, not everybody. Right? Again, because perception. So I'm trying to go to see other parts of your LinkedIn. Okay. So these are other things that you can update based on your interests, what you want to be known for, the kind of opportunities you're looking for, and so on. Then about me, this is a key part of your LinkedIn. So if a recruiter is looking for opportunities, there are certain keywords that they would search for, right? So if I'm recruiting for an entry level accountant, if you have entry level accountants in your about section, there is a good chance that your profile is going to come up. So I had to sit down and think about the different things that I had done and the different things that I wanted to be known for. So the different opportunities that I wanted to get, right? And then I collated those keywords together and wrote this about me sections. I also wanted to show quantifiable impact on it. This has not been, forgive me, oh, let me just give a disclaimer. The last few months of my life has been incredibly busy. I'm not complaining. I'm very grateful for the all the exciting work and clients I get to work with. But my LinkedIn has not been updated recently, right? But it still captures a lot of the things that I'm sharing today. But I promise that I'm going to edit it soon. So a lot of these things are not even up to date or relevant anymore. But yeah, so you want to make sure that you want to ask yourself, who am I? What do I want to be known for? What are the opportunities that I'm looking for? People who share those opportunities, do they people who share those opportunities, what are the keywords that they are looking for? What are the keywords that they use in the role that they put out? And then use that. And again, we have ChatGPT. Okay. So because of time, I had planned that I would have showed how to use ChatGPT to write your different sections. But I trust that you'll be able to create those prompts yourself and you can use that to create your about section. So this about section significantly influences what you are found for, right? So again, it captures what I've done. Like you can see, it's not been updated recently because I've not talked about accounts, which we just launched 3 months ago, and so on. Then services, what are the services that you're able to provide? And apparently people can also give you recommendation on your service. I didn't even know that this client had said it. I don't know what I was looking for the other day and I saw it and I was pleasantly surprised. So people are almost able to leave a review for you as well, right? Then there's the featured. So when you make a post on LinkedIn, you can highlight the key posts that you want people to see. So again, I'm thinking, what do I want people to know me for? What kind of opportunities am I positioning for? And what posts have I put up that aligns with those opportunities? So I want people to know me as a global speaker, as somebody working in the finance space. And so if you go through my featured, you can see that a lot of it is, even if I've put up a lot of posts or people have tagged me in a number of posts, a lot of what is featured here is aligned with what my current focus is. So even recently, I think the change that I made recently was reordering my featured, right? Because I realized there are some things that are no longer relevant to where I'm heading to. And so I took it down from my featured and just reorganized what I wanted people to see. So sharing content as well, we'll come to that in a bit. Then your experience, right? So I noticed that on LinkedIn, some people just put their title and the name of their organization without like putting in, like, even if it's a brief. Again, remember that social media is your new CV. You want to think about what key skills are people looking for in the industry that I'm looking to go into, and how can I use every single part of my social media profile to show those skills, right? So ensuring that keywords are important. You're not just writing random things, you're using keywords. I also want to make sure that, I mean, people lie, but if part of your values is integrity, you want to make sure that as much as possible, you're not lying, you're not over exaggerating the work that you're doing, and so on. Another thing is that if you're job hunting, you want to be very careful to not have too many presents. So even if I still operate Seco Labs, right? It's I had to close that role. And that's what I was saying about I need to sit down and properly optimize my own LinkedIn, because there are loads of things that I'm doing now that are not reflected on here at all. And I need to be able to write them out in a way that does not make people think, oh, she's too busy, or she already has a lot. So if you're actively job hunting, you want to make sure that you don't have too many present roles. And your experience section is not for your certification. I see people come on here and they put, maybe they completed a course on forage and they put it here. Maybe they did a volunteering thing, they put it here. So the only time that you should put your volunteering experience under here, if you're entry level and you do not have a lot of experiences to put, um, and your volunteering roles really shows the level of skills or expertise that you've been able to build, and you can clearly communicate the impact that you were able to make in those volunteering roles. Right, and then you're also able to include key skills that you gained working in those roles. Again, I'm thinking about the industry I'm playing in, what I want to be known as, opportunities that I'm looking for, and I'm intentional about keywords. So these are not random words. These are things that people looking for someone with my level of knowledge and expertise are searching for. Right? So that's how you write out your experience, then your education as well. You put those in, key courses that you've done, certifications. You can include those volunteering opportunities. So if you are like mid-level, I don't expect to see your volunteering opportunities under experience, right? Because you should have a lot to talk about in terms of like regular paid job, and then you can talk about your volunteering experience. Then you can also list out your skill and jobs where you got those skills. You can list out your skills and roles where you were able to acquire those skills. Then you also have recommendation, which is very key. So if you've worked with someone in the past, you should, and especially if you've done good work, you should encourage people to leave you a recommendation, right? This way, people are able to look through and are able to say, okay, this is people who have worked with her. This is what they say, so we can trust her to an extent. So there is somebody who we recently made an offer to, and the reason why we made that offer to her was I went through her recommendation, and people who had worked with her in the past had really good things to say about the work that she has done. I have not done any publication in a while, but if you have like blog posts and all of that, you can put them here under publications. If you have awards, you want to include those as well. So that's about setting up your LinkedIn. So your header, your profile picture, I've talked about factors to consider when setting up your profile picture, factors to consider when setting up your title, choosing opportunities that you want, writing your about page. I really emphasize the importance of keywords, not just including like random things, and also demonstrating impact, right? Your featured, what to consider when setting what to feature, activity. So every post that you put up or you engage with appears here. So you want to be very careful about how you are engaging and what you are engaging with as well. Experience, where you're working, the work experience that you've had. So you don't need to put in everything. You just have to think about, what do I want people to know? What is most relevant for the kind of opportunities that I'm looking for, and so on. Then school certifications, all of this. So I'm going to pause here and maybe take one or two questions before we go on. So the next thing is on content. So what kind of content should you be sharing on social media? But do we have any question? Maybe
Question?
from the on-site audience, do you have any question?
Any questions? Yeah, go ahead.
I
Do you want
wanted
to
to
come
ask,
closer? Yeah,
yes, sir.
yeah, this is right.
I wanted to ask, talking about your personal brand and the fact that it's like putting your best foot forward and presenting yourself where you want to be. And then a lot of people also talk about like authenticity. And so is there a way it's possible to meet that balance
The balance between.
between putting your best foot forward where you want to be, what you want to be known for, and like being your authentic self?
Okay. Yemisi, did you get that question?
No, if you can please repeat what he said.
Okay, so he says, what is or how do you strike a balance between being yourself, putting yourself out there, and being authentic, like staying true to your authentic self? How do you strike that balance on LinkedIn?
Okay, so I'd like to define your authentic self as the best possible version of yourself. And it shouldn't be, ideally, it shouldn't be contrary to the person that you want people to know you for. I had assumed that what he was trying to say was, oh, if you're just starting out in your career, how can you be putting your best foot forward? If that's what he's trying to communicate, like I said, I started building my personal brand without realizing it. So even if you are at the bottom of you're at the very entry level of your career, being your authentic self is not coming to lie about what you know or what you can do. It can be just showcasing what you're learning and how you are applying it. So, for instance, you've attended this program, sharing about it on social media, what you've learned, talking about the courses that you're doing at Collab, what you're learning, how you're applying it, volunteering courses. That is a good way for entry level people to build their personal brand. I think that a lot of times people have assumed that building a personal brand equals to being an expert. And that's
Right.
why I started from sharing about like I was building a personal brand without realizing it. I was just sharing what I was doing as a student, being a volunteer. I wasn't coming online to position as an expert in anything. I was in school. I had just gotten out. Right. And I think that perhaps that's the mistake a lot of people make, especially entry level. You think I'm building a personal brand, so I have to be a thought leader or I have to be an expert. And then you miss out on valuable opportunities to actually put your head down and learn and understand the basics of your industry. And it is not so. Building a personal brand just means really thinking about what you want people to know you for and what you want to be associated with, even when you're not in the room. And it can be, you know what, I'm looking for an entry level accountant. And I also talked about what people look out for at entry level. They're not looking for you to be an expert. They're looking for you to have a great attitude, to be willing to learn. So your personal brand online can be the person who is not engaging in gossip. Like every time there's a fight on Twitter, they find you in threads. I'll be very hesitant to hire somebody who is always throwing shade or who is always fighting on Twitter because it tells
Yeah.
me that you're going to be a problematic person. See, it doesn't speak to your technical skills at all. I'm just judging you by your personality. So I don't know. I
Right.
feel like I've over answered your question, but I hope that that's clear.
Yeah. Is that yeah? Okay. Do we have any other question? Any other question? None for now. Okay.
Okay, we have no
Um,
question from the physical audience. Do we have any question from anyone online? I can see Ozioma is raising up her hand.
Yes, please. Good morning, Yemisi. Thank you
Good
so
morning.
much for all you have been saying. Very insightful, honestly. Okay, so my question is this. I think I have two, but I'll just ask this one first. My question is you mentioned in the aspect of, how to write your head and all, and then you said write something around what you want to be known for. Um, if say you want to be known as a global speaker now, and you do not have any experience speaking anywhere per se outside Nigeria or outside the environment where you are, I wouldn't it be like a lie putting global speaker as like part of your header or something? I don't know if you get my question.
I would not put global speaker in my header if I'm not a global speaker. So, and then if you have no speaking experience, you want who is a global speaker is somebody who starts speaking locally. Nobody wakes up and suddenly becomes a global speaker. And also, a global speaker is are people who have strong expertise in their field. So, like in a specific topic or in a specific industry, right? So it's about like going back to the root of it. If somebody is looking for a global speaker for their industry or for their events, Do they come online and search global speaker? And do they choose people because they have global speaker in their bio? Or do they choose people because they have expertise in that field? So if you want to be you want to be known as a global speaker, it starts by building expertise in a particular topic or field and showing that expertise online through the quality of content that you're putting out. And you can also start speaking locally. There are so many local events happening every day. And if you've built expertise in a particular field or topic and you approach people to speak for free at their events, they will give you the opportunity. If you go to an event and speak for free, nobody's going to know that they did not pay you to speak there. And that's something that you have in your portfolio. So when I was younger, I find that question interesting because when I was younger, I used to want to be a speaker. Like when people ask me, what do you want to do for a living? I would say I want to be a public speaker. And I remember one of my bosses telling me that people who are public speakers are experts in a field. And it is because they are experts in a field that people call them to speak on things. So you need to make sure that you're really holding your skill in a particular topic or in a particular field, and you're showing that knowledge, that experience, and you also have videos of you speaking, right? So when you apply for a lot of international fellowships, they ask you to make a video of yourself because they are testing your level of literacy. How do you speak? How articulate are you, and all of that. So a global speaker, to summarize, is somebody with expertise in a topic or a particular field, and somebody who has already started speaking locally, right? So some people are even invited. I know somebody who was invited to speak at a global event, and that was her first ever speaking engagement. But that's because she had shown expertise in a particular topic and field. And when they are looking for speakers from Nigeria, because she's the one who has used her social media platform to show expertise in that field, they reached out to her to invite her. So on your social media page, what are you showing knowledge and expertise of? And maybe just to tie in with your question, it really helps for people to think about the hierarchy of things. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier about entry level people positioning themselves as experts. There is such a thing as times and seasons, right? And it's really helpful to consider where am I right now and what is the next stage of this thing. You're not trying to think 5 steps ahead. It's just maybe I want to be a global speaker. Where can I start speaking to locally? What do I know that I can really strengthen my knowledge of so that I'm not just expert online, but when people engage me offline, they can actually see that I have a lot of wisdom and knowledge of this topic. So I hope that that has answered your question, Uzioma.
Yes, it has. Thank you very much.
Okay. What is your second question?
I think you already answered it while talking. So thank you.
What was it though? I'm just curious to know.
Okay, it had to do, it was still around having a topic, you know, as a speaker and the rest of it. So you answered it while talking, actually.
Okay. All right, then that's fine.
Chinedu's hand has been up. Chinedu and Dorothy. So Chinedu,
Okay.
you go first, and Dorothy.
Okay, I hope you can hear me. Good morning.
Good
I
morning. I
want
can hear
to,
you. Afternoon,
okay,
whichever one. Hi.
I want to thank you for the session. It has been impacting, but I have an issue with something which I wish to share. So, I'm a startup founder and I studied motor vehicle mechatronics. So now I incorporated the startup around February 2025. So in my LinkedIn profile, I I wanted to know if because I engaged I enrolled in your thrift in the thrift program that recently ended. So I wanted to know if I should in my profile heading if I should highlight either my the startup, or should I use the expertise that I have as from the field of from my field of study, or whether I should in my bio use the reason why I started the startup because currently I am not working in the field at which I studied, but rather I'm full time on the startup. So I wanted to know how to optimize the my profile so that I can get stand a better chance of getting funding as well as maybe getting a freelance job as a writer in the automotive space. So this is just my question. I don't know
Okay.
if it's clear.
What did you study?
Okay, I studied motor vehicle mechatronics.
Okay. And what is your startup about?
Okay, my startup is about converting traditional bicycles to electric bicycles. That's electric bikes to help micro and small businesses convert their goods and services in an
Okay, so
affordable
it's
way.
kind of
And
related now. It's not unrelated. It's still around automobile, right?
yes, it is.
Okay. Um, I think that I may need to have a look at your. I may need to have a look at your profile and maybe understand where you are and what you're currently doing in order to advise on that properly. So maybe Nana can give you my contacts or you can reach out to me on social media and we can just have like a quick 15 minutes chat where I review your profile and then just because right now I feel like there's so many things that I'll need to know in order to give the right answer and I wouldn't want to ask that here.
All right. Thank you very much, Miles. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Okay,
Okay,
hi
I thought we
everyone.
had one more person raising up their hand. Dorothy, yes, please go ahead.
Yes, yes, that's me. Good morning, everyone. My
Good
name is
morning.
Dorothy. So, I have a question. My question is around I am trying to pivot or I'm trying to move or change my career to the non-for-profit space and the development space to be specific. I've had most of my previous experience in for-profit schemes and management and consulting. So I'm trying to really get how can I like place myself in a situation whereby people that are in the non-for-profit space or in the development space can be able to see me as someone that is going to be valuable for their organizations and how can I portray this or that in on my LinkedIn page especially because most of the work I've done is around supporting businesses or management consulting and all of that. So how can I do this, especially because my interest in the development space is really so different. My interest is working with women or people that have had experience with rape, molestation, and all of that. So I'm trying to make the change now, and I'm trying to make the move now. But I've still not been able to really understand how to communicate this effectively on my social media platforms.
Okay. So I struggle to hear you, by a bit, but I think what you're trying to say is that you've built a career in management consulting, and now you want to build a career in supporting women that have gone through sexual abuse, and you don't know how to make that change on your LinkedIn.
Yes, that's correct.
So is the supporting women with sexual abuse, is that a full-time thing that you want to do or more of a volunteering NGO on the side type of thing?
It's something I want to do as a full-time career.
Okay. So what I was, and that ties into the next part, which I was going to talk about on content. I have like 10 minutes because I have a meeting at 11:30. But what I'm going to say is that um, one of the things that I do when I'm trying to pivot my career is that I go on LinkedIn and I look for or at least most people, I look for people who are in that career that I want to get into. And I see how they talk about themselves, what they say, the keywords that they are using in their profile, maybe key skills that they have, and if there are things that maybe skills, experience that they have that I do not have, my personal development plan would be on how do I build this skill or this experience, or how do I gain this knowledge, right? So if you're trying to pivot from management consulting to the development space, which kind of sounds like what you want to do, to working with women struggling with sexual abuse. It's not like you're starting out an NGO, you want a career in this. You will need to ask yourself, what work specifically do you want to do in that space? So, an organization that supports women struggling with sexual abuse has different roles. There's the admin, there's the finance, there is the proposal person, there is the M&E person, there's the programs person, there is the counselor, there is the operations person, right? So you need to be able to say, this is how I want to contribute specifically to this industry. Then you need to ask yourself, what are key skills and knowledge that people who contribute in this way in this industry have? Then what are transferable skills? So a lot of people think that because they are pivoting from one thing to a completely different thing, everything that they've done in the past is no more relevant. But a lot of times when I have these one-to-one sessions with clients and you really deep go into it, you realize that a lot of what they are currently doing is very similar to what they are about to go into. They've just not realized it yet. So there are transferable skills that you have. They are relevant experience. So if you're going to work with an NGO that supports women with molestation, that NGO person may need help with writing proposals or engaging with private stakeholders. And because you have experience in management consulting, that positions you strongly. So considering what the transferable skills are between the two different industries, and considering how to demonstrate or show those transferable skills in your content, right? So that brings us to what I was going to share next about content. What are you writing? What are you sharing? How are you sharing it? So you can write content by yourself, demonstrating knowledge. You can even repost other people's content. You can also repurpose other people's content. So you can share original thoughts and ideas. You can repost other people's content. You can repurpose other people's content. Somebody has said something. You are now coming to say it in your own way, with your own perspective. Reposting is not just blind retweeting or resharing, it is also quote tweeting the original post and sharing key things that stood out from you or for you, or perhaps how you are applying it. You can also report blog posts. So what are blog posts that people are writing in the industry that you are interested in, right? Or in the things that you want to be known for. If I come on your page and consistently I'm seeing content around how to manage programs for MSMEs, I will immediately think of programs for MSMEs and your name will come to mind. Even if it is not your original content, even if all you're doing is reposting other people's content and maybe sharing a summary, reposting it with your summary or with key highlights, because these things is what you're consistently sharing. I'm attaching you to the content that I'm saying about you all the time, and this applies to all platforms at all. You can share original thoughts on things that you want to be known for or associated with. If you're still maybe entry level, you can share what you're learning. Openness to learning is a key skill that a lot of people lack, right? And just really showing that you're taking initiative to learn and how you're applying yourself. So content does not need to be hard, because it does not need to be what you are writing by yourself from scratch.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think, Nana, I want to wrap up here. I'll probably take, so I've already spoken about contents, right? So you can use
Right.
that to map out. Okay. One other thing is engagement. So intentionally building your online presence. Who are you following? Who is following you? Who are you connected with on LinkedIn? Also connecting with other people's content. So leaving comments on other people's content. Remember how I showed you on LinkedIn the activity part, right? Which shows everything that you're engaging in or you're sharing. So you need to be intentional about identifying thought leaders in your field and intentionally engaging with them. The thing is, if somebody is a thought leader in your field and you constantly engage on their posts in an intelligent way, one they'll think they'll have you in their mind, and maybe one day they are looking for someone to do something. They'll remember this person who is always engaging very thoughtfully with a lot of wisdom on their posts, and they'll be the ones to reach out to you. So you can curate a list of 10 to 20 people in your field who are thought leaders, who are experts that you want to form a relationship with or that you even want to learn from. And then if you just take out 30 minutes of your time every week, even to intentionally connect on their content, like their content, repost their content, leave intelligent comments on their content, that significantly opens you up to more opportunities than sending out your CV even. And this applies again to all platforms, right? There is somebody that we recently hired again, and it was because one of the things that stuck out to me, we had interviewed him, but I didn't think that we could afford him then, so we didn't go ahead with it. But recently we had a client that I really needed that person's expertise. Because even when he didn't get the job, he was consistently engaging. He consistently engages with my content. There was a time that I needed something urgently, and he was willing to help without even asking for money. Now that we have this new client, I just reached out to him to ask if he's still available for the job. And we employed him. We didn't have to put out the role, we didn't have to do interviews. So, relationships are important. How are you forming relationships with people online? By intentionally connecting with people and um, by intentionally connecting with people and leaving how you intentionally connect with them, leave thoughtful comments, even how you reach out to people in the DM, right? So, do you, when you reach out to people in their private message, do you just say hello and you're waiting for them to respond to you? Or do you intentionally go there, introduce yourself, go straight to the point of what you want and why you're the best person to provide that in to provide that service. So I need to rush off. We can have one more question, but I have a book which I wrote maybe 6 years ago now. It's available both soft copy and hard copy. Please ignore this first link. You can use the second link. And if you use the code, you get 10% off. So,
Okay, I think I will take this from you. If you can just
okay.
send it to my
Okay, I'll
my
do that and I'll send it to you as well. I also help people optimize their LinkedIn page. So we're able to sit down, understand where you are, where you're trying to get to, and completely rewrite all the sessions. Or if you want to sit down one to one with me to review your personal brand, just really curate how you want people to perceive and engage you online. This also comes with curating accounts that you should engage with, optimizing your social media page as well, all of that. I'm happy to do so. And because you're on this call, you can get 10% off. So you can reach out to me or you can send an email. So this only lasts for the next 48 hours, right? And then, but if not, you don't have to. I think the book covers everything that you need to know about how to set up your presence online and how to position yourself online. Or if you even just apply everything that you've heard today, you're good to go. We've talked about how to set up your page, and that applies to all your social media pages. Right? When people go on the platforms, what is the first impression they have about you? What does your bio say? What does your profile picture look like? What kind of posts are you putting up? Who are you engaging with, right? And we've gone through all of those in detail, how to write the right content, factors to consider before setting up your profile picture, all of that. But then if you want maybe more in-depth support or more hand-holding, more than happy to do so as well. And then I'll send the code to Nana. But I can take one more question and then I need to leave because I have a meeting. I have a client
yeah.
call that I have to reschedule.
So maybe I should ask, right? Because we have
Yeah.
a lot of like technically inclined people, especially here at Cola physically. Does the when you put the open to work sign on your LinkedIn, does it actually work, or is it a turn off for employers?
I don't think that is a turn off for employers. It works for me, and I mean I put mine in such a way that only recruiters can see it. Even when I
Right.
have, so even if someone is not a recruiter and they see your profile, there are people constantly looking to poach new staff. So if I go online and I search for using keywords for the people that I'm trying to recruit, and I find your page, even if you're currently working, I'll still reach out to say, oh, are you looking for new opportunities? Right. So it is not a turn off. Perhaps it is. It could be for some people, but you are the one looking for these opportunities. So you want to be as intentional as possible in how you put yourself out there. So if you also have like a technical skill, data analytics, graphic design, writing, you want to make sure that the link to your portfolio is also a part of your profile. And I think something I forgot to mention is how can people reach you? So if you go on my about section on my LinkedIn, you will see my email. And that has connected me with a lot of opportunities because people may not want to reach out to you via LinkedIn DM, maybe for because of the different restrictions. But because my email address is there, they can easily reach out. And I'm also working on curating like my portfolio in it or like a CV that people can click on and they can easily see the different things that I do and the different things that I've done in one place. So yeah, thank you for asking that because now I remember to also share about like considering how people can reach you and connect
Right.
with you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Yemi. I don't want to take up much of your time. But thank
Thank
you
you.
so
If
much.
you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to me on social media. Or if we are connected on WhatsApp, please feel free to reach out to me on WhatsApp as well. More than happy to support as much as possible. And if you're interested in the offers, please reach out as well. But I really hope that this was beneficial. Maybe I should just ask, what did we learn? What are we going to start doing as a result of what we've learned today? Nobody?
Uh, Anyone want to share?
People online, you can unmute your mic and speak.
Okay, yeah. Chinedu, go ahead.
Okay. One of the things that stood out for me is when Miss Yemisi mentioned about curating, industry experts, people that are ahead of you in the industry, and engaging on their posts and you know writing, making constructive engagements. So this is one of the things I am going to start doing today because I haven't been doing them lately. So after this call right now, I will take my time to, pick out distinguished and established, founders and start making constructive engagements as well as reposting and republishing. Reposting and how do you say? She said repurposing content. Yes, this is one of the things I'm going to start doing. Thank you very much.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much. I'm really sorry. I'm so pressed for time. I had to move a meeting for this, and so it would be unfair to have to move it again. But I have a coaching call. I have to jump in now. Please feel free to reach out again on social media via WhatsApp. And if you have any questions or any concerns, or you want to take up any of the offers, thank you again, Nana, for inviting me. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your day and have a great weekend ahead.
Thank you so much, Yemisi. Thanks everyone for joining. Hopefully this was helpful. Please, if you need to connect with Yemisi, you can let me know. And I could just set up like a link or something to that. Thank you. All right, bye everyone.